Good morning. Well, actually not good morning. Hello everybody. I just wanted to have a quick update on the next steps that I'll be taking, the next videos that I'll be recording. So coming up, we'll have a bunch of videos where I'll show how I prepared for all the exams that I recently passed. I have another exam coming up, so this week unfortunately I won't be able to get any videos through. I'm studying for the machine learning exam, and I'm going to be updating you about what I think about the machine learning exam, the AWS machine learning specialty exam. I'll be uploading that video in a few days. But for now, what I want to touch upon is the ways to prepare for exams, right? So technically there are 4 ways to prepare for exams. The first way doesn't cost you anything but your time, right? If you don't have time, then you need to do some kind of accelerated learning. So what is the free way, right? What is the free option? So basically what you'll do is you'll go online, you will take the document, the exam prep document that's posted with each and every exam, and you need to outline the domains. And I'm going to show you how to extract the domains from the prep materials that are available in the exam outlines. So once you've extracted all the domains, you need to look at each and every service that matches that domain. So for example, if it says you need to know compute, databases, and networking, well, compute is EC2, compute is containers, compute is also Lambdas, right? Compute is also EMR. And you need to know pretty much all the features of those services. If it says databases, RDS and DynamoDB are your minimum. Aurora, definitely fully important. Then you've got other databases that are in there. A little bit of knowledge about Redshift, a little bit of knowledge about Neptune, DocumentDB, Elasticache, right? Those are database services, in-memory databases. Now, that means that you need to sort of map out the domains, the products, and then learn about those products. What do you learn about those products? Well, the big benefit of AWS and of course all other cloud providers is that they are all online. Everything is online, everything is openly documented. There's no mystery. There's no internal information that you can only get if you attend the training. Nope. Everything is online, everything is self-explanatory, basically. Everything is self-service. So you can start consuming the services without taking one course, without taking one exam. You don't need an exam to start working with AWS or GCP or Azure for that matter. Now, once you've got your domains mapped out, you can figure out which white papers are gonna, well, there are some white papers actually listed, and we'll take an overview of those white papers also. And then of course you'll also look at first I start with a frequently asked questions for each and every environment. If I'm looking at EC2, I go to frequently asked questions and I see, can I answer those frequently asked questions? If I can, I'm pretty sure that that domain is something that I can cover, right? Because basically, especially for the associate level, nobody's going to ask you anything more than what you will find in the frequently asked questions section. So after you've done that, do some test questions. That's all you do. You have some test questions available on the AWS prep site. You can do a test exam, or you can get some questions online from different sources. And I'll show you some of those sources for each of those exams, and I'll show you what I use to prepare for these exams. Now, the second option is you don't have time, right? Now you need to accelerate your learning. How do you accelerate your learning? Well, option number 1 is pick up an exam guide, right? An exam guide usually is going to have those domains already focused, extracted, and prepared in a list for you, and you're just going to go through each and every domain, and you're just going to learn about each and every service that's important for that exam. And at the end of an exam guide, you're usually going to find, at least a couple hundred questions for the exam itself. And that is something very valuable, right? That means you spend maybe $50-$60 on a good exam guide, and you get also those questions. That's those sets of questions. Usually those sets of questions are going to be written by the author or by an expert in the publishing company. When I write these exam prep books, I like to write my own questions. And for all the exam prep books, I make questions pretty difficult because I want you to be able to confidently answer my questions and then go on the exam and say, whew, that exam was easy. That's the level of knowledge I want from you. Now, you're not good with books, you need something very, very fast, you need something super accelerated, then AWS Learning is your choice, right? Go for a course, a class for that domain to cover the knowledge domains, right? If you take an architecting course, an architecting class, you will cover the knowledge domains that will be needed in an architecting exam, right? But remember, AWS training is not exam prep training. They're not going to test you whether you were present on the exam, whether you completed the, sorry, not the exam, the course, whether you completed the course, whether you were listening to your instructor. No, they're going to see whether you know how to use the service itself. And if you know how to use the service itself, then you know that's where you want to be in life and in your job and in your career. You don't want to be proving that you can pass an exam. You want to be proving that the exam means that you know how to work with these services. And of course, even if you take a class, I always recommend that you take some exam questions and test yourself out. Now, option 1, 2, or 3 are just theory. You need practice, right? Before you go for the exam, usually AWS will say you need 6 months, you need a year, you need 2 years, you need multiple years of experience. Yep, that's what you need. You need years of experience before you're ready to go and pass the exam. And if they say 1 year's worth of experience, if you intensely study for the exam, you can get away with half that. You can get away with 3 months, right? But I would rather see you do work in real life, get work experience, real world experience, and show that you can really use those services. And then when you go into the exam, if you have hands-on experience with a service and they're going to ask you a service question, of which probably 20% are going to be there, where they're going to ask you, what's this setting going to do when you set this setting in EC2? There's nothing like that in the books. There's nothing like that in the docs. That's stuff that you learn when you actually work with it, right? You can study on your own, you can get a book, you can go for a class, but always, always, always add experience, always add questions and answers for the exam itself, demo questions. All right, that is it for this one. I will see you in my next video where I'm going to be discussing how to prepare for the Solutions Architect exam. That's going to be out early next week. Bye.